Well, I hope you all had a beautiful Christmas. I really do. I have been resting a little bit today. In fact, I absolutely passed out, to be honest with you. I had a pretty magical Sunday. Rode my bike to church this morning, and then I rode just down. It's not very far. It's in Rosemary, to a beach access, and I sat there with my journal and wrote a little bit. I've really been in preparation for what I'm going to be doing in order to find out what 2020 is supposed to be for me. And I've had some thoughts of, he hasn't really spoke a word to me. And he might not. He may just say, stay where you are and keep at it. But last year, I did a full-on sabbatical, no phone, no computer, no anything for a week. And so this year, I believe what I'm going to do, because for me, food is not an idol. I do not put food above anything. It's never been. I'm sure my CF team would like for it to be, so that I would keep all the weight on all the time, but I don't need food to survive. I just need it to survive. To fast, you know what, I really would like for all of you to challenge yourself on that. And I believe it's to take away something that you idolize. And I think that food is that for some people. It's basically saying, what do you put above your time with God? What do you put above? Because He should be first always, right? So for me in the mornings, I start every single day the same. No matter if I have 5 minutes to do it or 2 hours. And sometimes I do spend 2 hours. But I always wake up in the morning, I get my tea after Abby and I have gone outside, and I either watch sermons or open the Bible or just have quiet time. And I think for me, what I'm going to do, because sometimes I watch, 5, 6, 7 sermons a day, just depending on, what the day needs and brings. And they really have been quite helpful. But I've had this laying on my heart to kind of step away from them. What's great about the sermons for me, and has been, is there's so much to learn about the Bible, and sometimes I read through it really fast. It's storming here, which is really beautiful. Side note, I just turned all the lights off so I could hear and see the storm going through. So to watch the sermons for me, has been really nice to get to know the Bible, to get to know the history, because a lot of these preachers and pastors went to seminary. I had Bible school when I was younger, I grew up in the church, but from 3rd grade to 7th grade, I actually had a Bible class. And you're young, they don't get into all the stuff. So that's been really nice. However, I have felt that God really wants me to get into the Bible and read it so that He can translate it for me and have it touch and learn different things that, I think what happens for most is they go in there and God speaks to them on what it means that they need to talk about so that they can understand and learn and grow, and then also for the other people that are listening. So for me, I want it to come directly from Him instead of through another source, which is not a bad thing. I do it for you guys, other people do it. But I think my calling, what I'm going to fast, is no online sermons for 10 days. I'm also going to minimize my social media. There's a lot of you that I talk to, and I love that. So I'm not going to take it away fully, because I believe there's some real benefits from it, and I don't feel like I'm needing to do that. I'm just going to limit it maybe once in the afternoon, after lunch, before dinner. it's it's a good source. So for me, those are my two things. To be honest, I don't really put a lot before God. If anything, it would be the sermons, because I'm kind of, I would say, almost like cutting off the direct path, but sermons do talk to you, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that sermons are a bad thing to watch. I'm really not. But I feel like God's telling me that him and I should have our time, intimate time, very quiet, whether it's at the beach, it's here, it's at a coffee shop, I'm not sure. But that's what I'm going to do. So if there's something that's taking your time and you're not giving yourself that quiet time with God, then that's the thing you need to pull away from. Whether it be 10 days, 40 days, some people do take food away. I would also say maybe if your friends are taking up a lot of your time, the social scene, which really it becomes overwhelming, pull away. Say no. If there's family that's taking your time, always needing you, that friend's always needing you, pull away. If your job is taking from you more than it should, pull away. You can say no. And if someone is threatening to, well, if you do this, then pull away. It shouldn't be that type of relationship anyways. So I just kind of encourage you to take maybe a few moments of silence and ask God what he would like for you to pull away from. And whatever's kind of, speaking, then have the courage to do that. And I promise you it'll change your life. It really will. There's so much that comes in when you take away the interference. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to step away and see what God has for me and where he's calling me to next. It's been an absolute wonderful, magical year that has been full of so much blessing, miracles, growth. I mean, that's another thing. I really want to step away and just kind of absorb all of that and realize where I was, what I went through, and where I am now, and what's next for 2020, because guess what? I'm alive. And not only am I alive, but I've got the energy to really make a difference. And I'm not going to stop. I'm not. It's only going to... I know I have a pretty big understanding of where and what my purpose is, and I'm extremely excited for it. I've had so much patience, and I don't know if it's this year that it all sky or the next, but I know it's coming, and I'm getting prepared for it, just as I've been preparing for the last year. So I love you all. I hope you have the most magnificent transition from 2019 into 2020, and I really hope that you take a moment to take away the distractions and focus on what's next and what's best for you and your family and those around you. So, Happy New Year.